but it's been a great day. This is like day 5 of awesomeness. I'm just loving this market. Obviously, the Nvidia news came out, and this bull market seems to be just falling apart at the seams. After the news came out, Nvidia went higher somewhat. Then went lower, then higher. It was just wiggling all over the place. But on the whole, it was a little bit green. And it was evident that all the call buyers and all the put buyers were going to be disappointed, because the big winners were everybody who sold them those options, because it was a pretty tiny move. And we were pretty green overnight. I mean, there's this general like, woof, well, Nvidia's still rock solid and yay, on with the bull market. And then it just started, as I say, disintegrating. I've got the charts ready, and I'll try to get through this without seeing too many tracer lights in my eyes. Let's rock on. Well, we have broken the midline. And mind you, a lot of this stuff is going to be more news to me than it is to you, because I've been so distracted today, I've barely been able to catch up with things. But hey, I just discovered we've broken the channel's midline. That's awesome. We have done that before here, although they pushed back on the day. So it's not like, yay, the bears will take over now. Not necessarily, but it's a good thing. Yeah, I'll have more to say about that when we get to Nvidia. Here's the diamonds, which were nice and green earlier. As you can see, look at this long tail. And check out the line. Remember I talked about how that line is the new resistance? Well, it did its job, because we rallied today, and the line's like, no, you don't, and shoved it right back. So we're heading at the lows there for many, many weeks. Small caps, as I had speculated, have completed its topping pattern. And this is an important breakdown. I talked about the RTY Fibonacci yesterday, and how this really opens us up for a much bigger drop. So a lot of very good things happening on the bearish scene. Bulls having come accustomed to being saved at the slightest inconvenience, probably panicking right now. And yeah, they're kind of a spoiled lot, a petulant, insolent bunch. So they'll be begging for a bailout if we get down even a little bit more. But the country's broke, so I'm not sure how many more bailouts they're going to get. And yeah, it's looking good, looking good, looking good. Tesla is down again, just rotting under. And look, this is unbelievable. Just, the fib failed. I said yesterday, well, 250, here we come. Tesla's heading for a 50% loss, about, if it gets down to those levels. Yeah, Mr. Musk, not a good business decision to get this deep into politics. It's destroying staggering amounts of shareholder value, including your own. Okay, let's talk about Nvidia. It's time for me to rant a little bit. Nvidia is kind of like Cathie Wood. Nvidia had this amazing run, just like Cathie Wood had this amazing run. And Nvidia and Cathie got very famous because of those aforementioned amazing runs. And everybody's talking about Nvidia, and everybody's talking about Cathie D. Wood, and putting up fake pictures of her when she was young, which were fake. Anyway, and that stuck. And even yesterday, there was this notion that, white hot Nvidia is coming out. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I've got a news flash for you. We're just about to March 2025 here. Nvidia stopped being cool early in June 2024. In June 2024, yeah, it was amazing. It had gone up about 1,000% just over 2 years. That's amazing. Since then, it has done nothing. And yet, there's still this idea that, Nvidia is so cool. No, it's not. It's a piece of crap. And it's range bound. But there's this persistence that it's hot stuff. And same with Cathie. Look at ARKK if you don't believe me. She was hot as a pistol back in the day, and has produced dreadful results since then. But still, anytime she wants to get on any TV show, right this way, Miss Wood. So it's odd. But yeah, with all the brouhaha over NVIDIA, it's been proved really kind of pointless. Gargantuan bearish engulfing pattern here. We did rally. We opened strong. Looked like NVIDIA was going to produce another leg for this bull market. No, it's going to snap this thing in two. So my dumping NVIDIA puts and AMD puts, yeah, those would have worked out just fine. Wasn't necessary, but I'm still glad I did, because NVIDIA might be up 30% right now for all I know. So I'm okay with that. Left some money on the table, absolutely, but I don't regret that decision. It worked out all right. Yeah, like here's AMD, for example, which I puts on, sold them at a terrific profit, but it got terrificer. It just keeps falling. And this has been mentioned every day for weeks now, AMD. ON I held on to, and I'm glad I did. It's a more powerful pattern than AMD, and it's a huge top there, and that's going great. So I'm just hanging on to that. Same with Broadcom, ABGO. I shall consider taking profits if it gets down to here. It's a logical place. SMCI, I know it's not a semiconductor company, but it's real close. And the thing is that this is one of those rare instances when I nailed the entry almost to the minute. I'm not bragging because it hardly ever happens, but I got on this day, and it's been nicely crumbling. So SMCI, and I think just yesterday morning, it was yesterday morning, everyone's going crazy because they filled in a form, a 10K or something. They got to form it on time. Good job, guys. I don't know what that's going to do for your earnings in the future, but everyone was all gaga over. They did a form. I bought more puts based on their form submission, so that's worked out all right. And this is down almost 16% today alone. And overall, if we look at SMH, the semiconductor sector ETF, it's got a monster bearish engulfing pattern, and it has even broken below this support. We're basically trading at levels now that we were early September. So it's getting down there. I don't know, maybe I'm getting greedy, but I'm just seeing things really work out nicely and break down nicely all over the place. So it's been a very, very good week. United Healthcare, I'm still in these puts. The gap is, strictly speaking, way up here. I'm using this as a stop loss. We'll see. Hasn't violated it yet. This is just about the only green on the screen today, but that's all right. BG, mentioned this yesterday, new entry for me, a new trade. Very nice big pattern there. Wendy's, not exactly high-tech stuff, but a very alluring chart to my eyes. Failed diamond pattern there. Clean stop. And goes along with my general narrative of, not to put too fine a point on it, restaurants that cater to the non-upper class are probably appealing short positions, because being poor is going to really stink in the months and years ahead. You have more than it usually does. And then NEE, Nextera, our old frenemy, move in the right direction, and the patterns looking real good on this one. So I'm really pleased. I've got 14 different bearish positions, 13 of them profitable, one with a pipsqueak loss, and I'm sure we can take care of that. So it's looking really promising. As I said yesterday, a lot of the high flyers continue to become, also kind of disintegrate. Server Robotics, just one red candle after the other. Kava Group continues to plunge, down almost 8% on this. We've moved from 173 down to 91. So approaching a 50% loss on that. Anything to do with quantum, which was a crazy hot fad for a little bit. IOQ, unusual machines. It's just red after red after red after red. Rigetti, even comically, the stock, which went exploding higher because it had the word quantum in its name, even though they make biology test equipment. So it's a man. My name was Timothy Quantum Knight. Take me public, because everyone was like, anything with quantum, I'll take it. Just like SpaceX isn't public. Anybody with a rocket, I want to buy them. People are silly. Some of the bullish stuff I've been talking about still hanging in okay. It's not all negativity. I mean, here's EXEL, another green day. Gilead, continuing to notch new lifetime highs. And is down a touch, but Grab Holdings looks intriguing. It's a fairly young stock, but it's broken out nicely from that range. As far as precious, I'm sorry, that's Gilead. I'm repeating myself. As far as the gold miners go, we are getting some sinkage here. It took a few days to sort of right itself, but it's definitely going okay. I don't tend to day trade, but I've been doing so with gold with pretty good success lately. Precious metals are weakening. I've been focused really on GLD myself, very, very liquid. And so that's produced really good results also this week. We're going to get out exact. I don't have to apologize to the next show because I'm actually going to finish on time. One last chart I want to leave you with, China, FXI. Weirdly, even though I think they got even more tariffs assessed today, China was green earlier by way of FXI. I decided to buy puts on FXI and short the sucker in size. Tight stop right along there. I'm kind of a purist when it comes to charting. This one, I would simply say it's just a simple horizontal line. They don't get any simpler than this. Just a simple resistance line. Not something I can make a thesis out of, but I think it's going to go down. Anyway, it's been a really good day. I'll say one last thing. When the trading year began, I set a goal for myself for the end of this year. My portfolio will be worth X amount by the end of the year. About an hour ago, I crossed that. So that feels good too, because we're not even done with February yet. So it's been an exciting time. Things are really starting to move in an exciting direction. And I'm glad Nvidia's behind us, because that was kind of nerve-wracking. So better set my goal higher now.